Yeah. Getting out of your line.
I wonder why plays are written. What's the author trying to do? Well, there's a number of things. They might be trying to tell you of something that's happened back in history. That's often the case. It might be that they use the play as a political, what do you call it, Harold? Vehicle will do nicely. Stage, whatever. Pardon?
Statement. Good word.
That's a good word. No prizes. Except a torch. We could have a torch. Just to entertain, but how do they entertain? All manner of different ways. Soapbox. That was what I wanted. Political soapbox, isn't it? George Bernard Shaw started just for that reason. You all have heard of George Bernard Shaw, haven't you? Who sold you the tickets? We're going to do a Shaw play next. It's lovely Pygmalion. You know that? Know the musical? Taken from... I love that play, Pygmalion. I'll tell you why I like it particularly. Because I found out some long years ago that he wrote this for his lady friend of the time, who was a very famous actress, Mrs. Patrick Campbell. Her husband was also an actor, and obviously he was a bit enamoured of this lady. And so he wrote the part of Eliza, especially for Mrs. Patrick Campbell. How old would you think Eliza might be? There's a number of times you've seen My Fair Lady or whatever.
25.
Rubbish. 18's nearer the... Oh! You know how old Mrs. Patrick Campbell was? Oh, how old you next? She was 49! I thought, Sylvia, that's good news! I've remembered that all my life. So if ever I look at a part I want to play and I have to be just a few months older, I think, she got a bad cold? Right. There's another playwright I love, and he writes simply to entertain, but also to inform, and that's the lovely Oscar Wilde. You can go to the top of the class. He moved in high society in London, and in most of his plays, he takes the mickey of high society. You know that, don't you? The servants are always so much cleverer than the lords and ladies in his play. I know that. I played a lady in one of Oscar Wilde's plays. It was Importance of Being Earnest. And the lady I played, Lady
Bracknell.
Good
job, I say.
I knew there must be a reason. Never found it before. Lady Bracknell, and she is a scary sort of creature, very against my personality. Anyway, she has a little black book which she carries around in her handbag. Do you remember that? Yes. Handbag. Would you like to say it all together? Handbag. Rubbish. And she's got a rather nice daughter. She had a rather nice daughter. And so if anybody... Don't stir it, Carol. If any suitor came along, she would get out this little black book and ask questions and make notes in the little black book and then decide whether that young fellow was worthy of, getting to know the daughter. And one of the early questions was, I'm not charging any extra for this. One of the first questions was, do you smoke? Well, actually, yes, I do. I'm very glad to hear it. A man should always always have an occupation of some kind. Well, isn't that lovely? Don't you think that's absolutely lovely? Sums that woman up. She knew. No, I won't say that. She knew very little. You know what I was thinking of saying? Have we got everybody in now? Oh, that's wonderful. I can shut up then. So tonight we're going to show you this wonderful adaptation of a glorious, glorious novel by Charlotte Bronte. And it's called Jane Eyre. And Charlotte Bronte wrote this novel to express her feelings, obviously, knowing little of the work. Oscar Wilde knew a hell of a lot. He came into trouble eventually. Do you know he died at 40? What a terrible waste. Such a brilliant man. Anyway, Jane Eyre is written by Charlotte Bronte. Very unhappy childhood. 5 girls, 4 girls. Whatever. 4 or 5 girls and 1 boy. And they lived in a parsonage. The father was the parson. In a very, very bleak part of Yorkshire. And he sent 4 girls to this frightful school, and they lived in. And within quite a short time, 2 had died through utter neglect and lack of food. And this parson, we got any parsons in? Well, that's all right. This parson cared so much about the other 2, he left them there. Yes, you can't believe it, can you? They were motherless. Eventually these 2 other girls came and joined the brother at home, and all they had to do all day was housework. And so at night, that was the only time they could have any sort of pleasurable activity. And they all wrote. They wrote poetry, they wrote novels, they read to one another. And this play, when you watch it, if you read the novel, you know what I'm telling you is true. Jane Eyre in this play is the young lady who wrote the book, the novel. She is treated very badly early on. And as the play goes on, there is this great desire in her for a happy time, for love. We all need love, don't we? I'm not going to tell you anymore. You can
I was
watch
going to
it.
say they might as well go now.
Oh, rot! Ladies and gentlemen, you can sit down. Sit somewhere else. Chatsworth players present Jane Eyre.